Buried History. A group in East Texas is working to uncover important stories from the past.
They're going to African American cemeteries to retrace lines of heritage, to draw a line from the distant past to today. Jesus Martinez takes us behind the scenes of an attempt to recover history.
Nestled under these pine trees and hidden behind Nottingham Lane in Chapel Hill lie dozens of graves, forgotten names and burial plots in Universe Cemetery.
We have a whole list of, and the list is growing, of abandoned black cemeteries in this area.
Larry Wade is the founder of the National African American Historical Society. He says there could be 50 or more abandoned black cemeteries in East Texas alone, with many more scattered across the state.
Well, we want to preserve history, and it's important that we remember our ancestors. Oftentimes, as the older people have passed off the scene, the younger generation do not know where their ancestors are buried.
Which is why a little over 2 years ago, Wade took it upon himself with other volunteers to restore and revive history.
We want to clean it up and reinstill a sense of pride in our black community of who is buried here.
Among the volunteers is Tyler Councilwoman Dr. Shirley McKellar, who says that keeping this sense of pride is important so it doesn't get buried.
If they are not taken care of, then sometimes they're used to build on top of. And we found out across America even that, that areas have been developed that they didn't realize that there were graves underneath.
As was the case in Florida, where a black cemetery was said to be moved back in the 1950s, only to find out decades later, hundreds of graves were paved over.
So we want to make sure that doesn't happen in our community. And the fact that we have some very important people who are buried in these cemeteries here in the city of Tyler and Smith County.
Important people like W.A. Pete, the namesake of Pete Elementary in Tyler ISD.
W.A.P. was a great educator, and his students, they call him Old Hickory.
It was those same students who were responsible for reconstructing his tombstone, just like many others, over 300 to be exact, that are buried at Universe Cemetery.
We have Miles Anderson, who's an All-American running back, went to Texas College. We have World War I and II veterans. We have former slaves.
Stones dating back to the 1800s mark where family members and dozens of others are buried. Some are unrecognizable through the elements of time.
So there's probably many, many more than that. Well, many, many more graves than we know of because they just didn't have tombstones.
Vicki Betts is a former librarian and now editor of history magazine Chronicles of Smith County, Texas. She and Larry Wade have worked closely to find out more about the people who are buried here. Among them is cemetery founder Benjamin Gause.
He was a slave here in Smith County, and in fact, even during the Civil War, he was running a Sunday school class for the enslaved people out of Bascom Methodist Church, which is still in operation today.
It's time-consuming work digging up stones.
We only know where the stones are, whether they're native stones. There's a whole rectangle of native stones there. There's a grave there. I don't know who's there.
But rewarding for volunteers like Betts and these historians who need your help too.
A garden tool, rakes, shovels, hoes, power saws, trimmers, whatever is necessary. And we need more donations from our community.
Donations that with time will breathe life into more hidden stories in these forgotten cemeteries. In Tyler, Jesus Martinez, CBS 19.
Wonderful story. Thanks so much for that, Jesus. If you would like to help in the cleaning and restoration of these cemeteries, reach out to Larry Wade. He says everyone is welcome. We have Larry Wade's contact information on our website, cbs19.tv.